So I recorded a couple of videos on Gen Z and how they think and what's forming them. I'm actually working with a bunch of high schoolers right now for a college course that I'm teaching, but I really wanted to learn from Gen Zers. And this conversation is an opportunity to learn from my 18-year-old nephew who's a freshman at San Diego State. He's going to teach me about how the world works these days for a teenager. And so this is our first of many conversations. And in this conversation, he's educating me on who Kendrick Lamar is. And it's really fascinating that he's telling you all the things that he's learning from his 18-year-old perspective. I'm going to call this the formation lab, because at the end of the day, it's about, our formation, but this particular version of it is my nephew, who's Gen Zer. You're going to be teaching me, the Gen Xer, about stuff. And so a couple months ago, we had this conversation about Kendrick Lamar. And not just Kendrick, we were talking about music and we were talking about culture and we were talking about the impact that he had. And then you just kind of walked me through his discography, you walked me through his impact. But we're gonna just pick up the conversation right where we left off. Basically, tell me the first time you remember hearing a Kendrick Lamar song. And then why did it connect with you? Why did it land with you? Mm-hmm. And who is he, first of all?
So just to answer your first question in regards to listening to Kendrick Lamar. So of course I've heard top hits like Swimming Seals or How off of his famous albums, but the one that really resonated with me was Rigor Mortis.
Okay.
So just a little flashback. I really honed in and listened to Rigor Mortis because it was for an assignment.
So you did it for school first?
I did for school first. Okay. So in junior year of high school, I was in this class. It was a humanities class, but we took an emphasis on hip hop. And our teacher, he instructed us to make an assignment and pick five songs from five different artists and just explain why you like them, explain what makes you enjoy listening to it. So I was like, I'll just listen. So I just played a lot of songs on repeat, on shuffle, but the one that drew out to me was Rigor Mortis.
Okay.
It's nothing crazy. It's not a very glamorous or boastful song, but its importance for me was that it fit a vibe and it also opened my eyes to curiosity. If you take a look at the song itself, I know I can't really play it here, but there's a lot of it's very upbeat. It's very fast. You have to keep listening. You have to keep focusing on what he's saying and whatnot. From the instrumentals to the actual lyrics in and of itself, the two main things that I took from it was the trumpets that he used.
Okay.
But also the mass amount of rhyming schemes, double entendres that he put throughout the lyric. That's the main thing that focused myself on, and I was like, whoa, this guy can do this type of thing.
But it connected with you on multiple levels. There was the beat, it was upbeat. So there's the music part of it. Mm-hmm. And then there are the instruments. And then there was his rhyme scheme. And then on top of all that, the stuff that he was saying.
Yeah. So I was drawn to the instrumentals. That's the main thing I'd point out in a song. If I like it and I enjoy it, there's probably correlation with the music in and of itself that has my attention. But just listening to the lyrics and just seeing how he flows from line to line.
Yeah.
It was just whoa, this is cool.
Yeah.
That type of deal.
I mean, I can't play the song in the video, but I can add the link. So again, this is a Gen Xer that has no clue who this guy is. Mm-hmm. And the impact that this guy has on culture.
But again, though, the song is nothing crazy. I don't feel very connected to the story or the lyrics in any shape or form. I just like how it sounds.
Yeah.
But that was my opening door.
Yeah, that was the gateway to the rest of it. And so since then, what is your experience with Kendrick Lamar been?
It's been enjoyable. I've done, I think by now, 2 more assignments on him, or at least using him for a
Might as
grade.
well.
Yeah, like if I enjoy taking a deeper look and like uncovering all of these layers, then I might as well do it for like a grade. Yeah.
And then, like, tell me what the journey into, like, tell me what that gateway was. Because you were saying, like, you just got into his discography, you just started, like, listening to
Mhm.
everything. What was that journey like?
So like that journey or just gateway as you put it, it was just like there there is so much more to music than like the first lesson. There's so much more meaning and depth that artists put into their discographies that many people like don't recognize or notice. So like by taking like time out of my day and like taking a step back and listening fully and analyzing, it just helped me enjoy listening to music. Like finding these
Oh, wait. So it was the gateway. It wasn't just a gateway to Kendrick. It was a gateway for you for music and the
Mhm.
depth of music. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. I didn't know that that was a deal. That's awesome. Yeah, because I mean, I had my songs that I listened to. It wasn't Kendrick, obviously. That, like, for whatever reason, like exactly what you said, it wasn't like even, I can't even remember the song. I might have to, like, take some time to think about it. But, like, for whatever reason, it just captures your attention and then you just get really into music. So he was actually the gateway for music,
Yes.
not just, huh. And it started because of a class.
I would say sorry because of the class. It was more just like a coupled amount of things just put together. But that was like the main that was like the driving force,
Okay,
if
so
that makes sense.
as we were talking about it before, you were telling me you were going through his discography, and as you were going through his discography, you're able to see him change, not change, evolve, right? Because he had a particular style, and then it evolved into something else. Like, walk me through like your experience of that. Like, what was it first, and then how has his music evolved?
Okay, so in like a chronological order, the song I was talking about, Rigor Mortis, that was part of his first studio album, Section 80. And then that was released, I don't know, like 2010 maybe,
Okay,
2011. But then as you listen to more of his albums from Good Kid Mad City to Damn to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, you can honestly see like growth develop. Like I feel like that's a good
growth as an artist, growth as a musician.
Mhm. So like just seeing how the instrumentals tighten up, how the lyrics tighten up, you could just like be like, wow, he has changed, he has evolved. There is transformation. And again, that just goes to show how much time artists like Kendrick Lamar can put into their discographies over time.
So was he communicating multiple messages, would you say? Because like I hear a song and I'm just like, it's just the lyrics. Like
Mhm.
that's what it's communicating to me. Like, was he doing that on multiple dimensions, would you say? Well, so obviously there's the words, but if the music is also evolving, what are you communicating beyond the words?
So I think a good way to portray Kendrick's music is you have to focus on you have to not only focus on each album separately, you have to focus on each song separately. There's countless videos of other people reviewing his music and talking about like all the intricacies and details of each one, but each one does like serve a purpose and meaning. So it is multidimensional in that aspect, but you have to listen to see that.
Okay. Okay. Would you recommend that that be the first song that I listen to?
No, not really. I think you can always pull a message out of any song of his. I just picked it because the trumpets I liked.
Okay.
The instrumentals were there. But there are definitely other songs you can listen to have a better or worse experience.
So what's he about? Like, like I'm a Gen Xer, like I truly don't know him. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean, I might be able to pick out one or two songs, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't even watch him when he like performed at the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
But like what's he about? What's his message? Like,
So like a lot of like the unique things that he does in comparison to other artists is definitely social commentary from he stems a lot about talking about disenfranchised communities. He grew up in Compton. So he grew up in his early days around like that lifestyle, around like that environment. And then another thing he likes to talk about is just like political issues or social issues in and of itself. which can be either prophetic or just outright criticism. But I think he couples that well with a lot of his music. It's not like a direct statement, if that makes sense.
Mhm. It's a is it commentary? Is it a reaction?
I think commentary is a good way to put it, because like there's only so much that you can react on a certain issue.
So he's it's commentary. He's reacting. Like, is it personal? It's obviously personal because it's his perspective. But is it more than that? Is it a cultural kind of thing that he's trying to say? Is he trying to figure out solidarity for like people, like his people, or do you think his message transcends to any audience?
His message definitely transcends to like a lot of people, but it also like comes back to like certain groups, of course. Again, back to the whole like how wide his discography is. You have to you have to group certain songs together for a certain message. That's how much he does.
In each album,
Each album has a different story, has a different message, has a different meaning.
and then so you've been able to see his message. His music obviously evolves, but his message evolves as he matures, as he because the thing is like, okay, so you grew up in Compton, you grew up really poor, you grew up like Jay-Z, you know, tough. And then you get a certain level of celebrity, and then you get a certain level of wealth.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you're still making music, but you're not living in the hood any longer. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
definitely a change in atmosphere.
and so, but you can see that in his music.
So if you take, for example, his fifth studio album, Mr. Mile and the Big Steppers, that album is very self-oriented. He talks a lot about personal issues from not only his perspective, but from like an outside's perspective as well. It's very intimate. It's very vulnerable. And that's different than like, let's say, Good Kid, Mad City, because that album is more social commentary, political issues, that type of deal. But like, if by just using those two comparisons, I think that shows like his meaning for making said album. This one means this, another one means this.
Okay, so his latest album, the later ones, after some popularity, after a little bit of wealth, he's known now, you know what I mean? He's actually impacted. Is it is it still stories of struggle? Like how hard life is? Because his life's not hard any longer.
That's fair.
Like, what's the story now?
Oh,
Like, can I relate to him still? Because like,
I think so. I
okay,
think you can.
in what way?
Again, after listening like this song or this song, you can always like pick out a message within it. For how do I explain it? Like even though he's like different than you, like either like culturally, personally, socially, at the end of the day, you're both like still human, you know? And it's those aspects that at least I can connect to more. Like he talks about like how like stress and anxiety can like impact mental health and whatnot.
Yeah.
He talks about like how consumer greed is like an issue that like one person deals with, you know? It's like that type of deal. Like even though he's the one saying it, he's saying it from different perspectives
Yeah.
that like make it easier to connect, makes the audience more open to like understand and comprehending what he's saying.
Yeah, he strikes me as an artist that you feel good after you listen to him. You know what I mean? Because there's some artists that are just like, you don't necessarily feel good after it. You know what I mean?
I kind of get what you're saying.
Like where like their message is just about them. It's just selfish. It's just, you know what I mean? Like,
It's
look
like
at
the
me.
lavish life.
Yeah, look at this thing that I've done. But then but he strikes me as someone that's a little bit more deep, where you can
Yeah.
actually get like this good, well, maybe not a good feeling. It doesn't necessarily need to be a
But you
good
can take away
feeling.
something else from it.
Exactly. Like it changes you.
Mhm.
So like he's a bit of a moral storyteller.
Yes.
What do you think his music is forming in listening, in listeners? Consciousness, empathy, awareness. I mean, definitely awareness because he's talking about it, trying to educate people. Courage, like I really like that. Like I said, that feel good, like it's moral storytelling. It isn't just, look at what I did and what I got. You know what I'm saying? There's always like some kind of life change or perspective change that comes out of listening to his music. It's very deep. And so like in his moral storytelling, what's he trying to form in listeners?
I think in regards to informing, the greatest attribute he does is he gives voices to perspectives that go unheard. Does that make sense?
Like unheard, unpopular.
I think just unheard. So like bring it back to the whole point of like disenfranchised communities. He he uses his platform to speak on their issues, their struggles, their life, I
Yeah.
guess.
To give it exposure.
I think like, that's one of the best things that he does to inform through his music.
So when you listen to his music, how does it shape you? Like, what is it forming in you? Like, does it elicit an emotion? Does it elicit like action? Like, what does it form in you?
So like it kind of just like depends on my mood, if that makes sense. If I'm just like walking to a class or just doing something mundane, I'm just listening to music to listen to music.
Okay.
I'm not really getting affected by like XYZ emotions,
Okay.
so on and so forth.
Fair.
Like depending on like the song and the message that portrays it, it can like, as you said, elicit an emotion. With a song like Count Me Out on Miss Mom's Big Steppers, that song like it connects to me in a way that like it's a universal feeling to feel like stress and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like with that song's message, he just it's human like. It's a shared emotion. And that like it just reminds me that like everyone goes through this type of deal. But that's like just only something like I can connect to.
Well,
Different
so
person can have a different meaning for a different song.
sure, but like what you're ultimately saying is you feel seen, you feel understood.
I think that's a good way to put it.
What is why would an older listener tend to misunderstand Kendrick's music? Like somebody my age, again, like we're not necessarily listening to the nuance. You're listening to it on multiple dimensions. Like I don't know that I've ever taken the time to listen to his stuff because a lot of his songs have great beats. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
listening to the beat. I'm not really even listening to the words, but like, what's the thing that I think older generations might misunderstand in listening to him?
I think it's just like just focus and attention in and of itself. Like even if you walk up to someone my age and you ask them this type of stuff, there's a good chance that they don't. They don't
Yeah,
listen
they
to it on
haven't.
that level. So like I don't necessarily think it's an age matter, but a more just like a purpose matter, if that makes sense.
And then whether you were paying attention to it or not,
Mhm.
would you say it's impacted you? Like, would you say that like he's helped you interpret your life or your choices or your relationships or
I wouldn't say it goes to that deep of a level, but it's definitely like opened my mind to just bring it back to like the whole like gateway aspect. I've been able to listen to music as such like a greater degree that just like helps my enjoyment of it. I can sit down for an hour, listen to an album and be genuine in like how I rate it and like my thoughts on it. And that helps me like talk to other people about it. I think socially that's like the greatest thing that it's given. It gives me an outlet or a conversation starter to talk with other people about.
like you were just saying that you did a presentation on him and this week in a comp class, what was the focus of what you shared this week and what was your main message in your presentation?
So it wasn't like a direct speech about Kendrick Lamar. The assignment topic was an informative speech.
Okay.
Our goal, since I had a partner, was to share with the class about a co-culture. And instead of picking something very like broad, like let's say like a genuine culture, like let's say the Italian culture or Japanese culture, for example, I wanted to take in a lot more specific and like niche route, if that makes sense. So what me and my partner focused on was hip hop culture. We listed out like 3 to 4 main points about it. But the main message was to teach about how hip hop has evolved from an entertainment source of like medium into an artistic form. And the way that we progressed our main points was just we focused on how it originated and where it started, focused on how it influences our day-to-day lives, And then I focused on how artists use lyricism to like a greater degree. And that's where Kendrick fit in. I used his ability to create discussion and commentary through a song and how that is like it is an evolution. It has changed. Instead of something that's like
Yeah,
supposed to be
you're not just like listening to the beat and it
Mhm.
feels good. You're actually like taking a look internally and well, you're internalizing the song. You're internalizing what he's saying.
So like instead of something to that be played at like parties or clubs, it's something that like you can just listen to by yourself and just like immerse yourself in, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. And then the other reason that I used him for was his winning of a Pulitzer Prize because that award was reserved for like jazz and classical composers. And the fact that it was given to hip hop artists out of all genres shows like the meaning and depth you can really uncover dependent by genre.
Oh, that's good. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Like if I'm talking to a buddy of mine that's my age and we wanted to get it to Kendrick, like what's the order that we need to listen to? Like is there like list a couple of songs that's like start with these songs or this album or does it even matter?
If you're gonna listen to his music just for like personal or just like wanting to like see hip hop from a different perspective, I would say go with whatever album is most drawn to you. It's a personal experience. I can't really give you the guidelines to it. I'm just here to tell you that there is something there.
Yeah.
Personally, I would start off with Mr. Mel and the Big Steppers. That's just my biased favorite. But you can find something for each of his albums. Maybe a little less than like GNX, but you can definitely find some in Good Kid, Mad City and Dan.
So wrap this up for us. Like who this guy is and
Uh,
like why the impact that who this guy is, the impact that he's having and why we need to
mhm.
keep paying attention to him.
So he's a very popular artist. I think people definitely know him by name. You can just say it like, yeah, he performed at the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
There's that aspect of it, but he's just an artist that touches a lot on social commentary. Of course, he has songs that are like boastful and lavish, but at the end of the day, there is more to his music than like the first listen, as I said before. You should just listen to him for like if you would just want to listen to something new. If you don't listen to hip hop, go for it. Listen to him. If you don't have to.
Yeah.
It's not a need. It's just something if you want to experience something new. If that makes
I know
sense.
it's not a need, but like as popular as he is and as much music as he has out there and as much as he's changing the game, like like he really is shaping a lot of people in the way that they think. He's
Mhm.
really changing the way that like he's doing music, he's changing the way that people are listening to music. You know what I'm saying? Because they're learning through his music. They're being shaped by his music. And so he definitely has an impact for sure. Thanks for sharing this. We're gonna have to do more of these conversations. I really enjoyed talking with you about it.
Of course.